All right, I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this. Josh is going to kill me, but I wanted to give you three of our top negotiating strategies and concepts for building new construction. I'm here in Beacon Lake. I'm actually on a slab that is for one of my buyers. They're getting ready to get their house under construction here. Thought I'd sneak away, sneak out, and give you three of our top strategies for negotiating new construction. And so number one seems pretty simple, but it's rooted in remembering that just like I'm a realtor, but I'm also a regular guy. I have a family. I do stuff, outside of this. The site agents, the salespeople at the builder are the same way. They have families. They are just regular people and you could just talk to them. And one of the questions I like to ask for my buyers, and I encourage you to ask, is what are some of the deals that you've seen other buyers getting here in the neighborhood? And a lot of times these guys will just chat with you and just tell you, hey, look, we've been seeing people get a little bit of extra incentive. We've been seeing people get some design credit. We've seen some of the lenders buying down the rates. There's all kinds of different ways that builders can give incentives to buyers. And sometimes just having a conversation, most of the time, just having a conversation is going to be super effective. So that is strategy number one. So strategy number two has to do with timing. Now, I don't want to suggest that there's only one time a year to buy a house from each builder, but there are certain times of years where builders want to get sales, where sales are more important, especially when you're dealing with the bigger national and the publicly traded builders. And so it's really handy to know when a builder's fiscal year is. And so lots of different builders, we know we can time it on the calendar when they're going to have a lot of special deals and a lot of special incentives coming out. And it has to do with when their fiscal year is, when their financial year end is. And especially with a big public company, it's when their shareholders are going to want to see profits and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of pressure on, and they just want to get some numbers on the books. Number three is instead of the builder versus the buyer, we want the builders to be competing against the other builders. Let me share a story with you where this really became effective. I was working with a buyer, and the site agent for the builder in this particular case was a little bit combative. It's just really prone to pushing back and pushing back. Well, why are your buyers asking for this? And why do your buyers want that? And why isn't this good enough for them? And it was a little bit weird, but also I quickly realized that we're building an adversarial relationship here where it's my buyers versus the builder. And so we actually went to another builder that was building in the neighborhood as well to find out what they had going on. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as we went back to the builder, number one, and we were like, hey, builder number two is going to give these buyers all these different things. Builder number one was like, well, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. And so instead of this competitive buyer versus builder, it was the builders competing over who could do a better job for the buyer. And that was super, super helpful. In the end, my buyers actually ended up building with builder number two, just because the experience was a lot better and they didn't have to have this big, drawn out battle and fight to get it done. But anyways, those are three of our negotiating tips. Shh, don't tell anyone. You can share this link with them and tell them to talk to me, but don't let this get out there into the internet world because, man, Josh will kill me if he finds that I'm sharing all these top secret tips. So number one, just talk to your sales agent, your site agent, like they're a person, and ask them questions, ask them pointed questions. Hey, what other deals are you seeing buyers get with you guys here in this neighborhood? Number two, pay attention to dates and calendars and times where it might be especially beneficial to the builder to get a contract. And three, don't compete against the builder. Don't set up a relationship where it's you versus the builder. What you really want is the builder versus another builder competing to see who can outdo each other in love for you as a buyer. But anyways, three top negotiating tips when buying new construction here in Northeast Florida. We do this all the time. We help people buy new construction homes here. This has been our bread and butter for years and years and years and years. If you're looking to build a home in St. Johns County, Florida, Duval, in this area right here in Northeast Florida, we would love to help you. We have great negotiating strategies. We have a whole list of other benefits that I'll get into in another video to help you guys win here in new construction. Let's go.